Good morning, my students. Today we are going to start with unit number 6 habitats, and it's lesson number 7, that is the last lesson of this unit, Life by the Sea. And for this, you have to refer to your science textbook, page number 74 and page number 75. Just to give you a brief recall, in the previous lesson we studied the life or a habitat of a pond, that how the pond animals and pond plants are living in a pond. Today we are going to discuss about the sea life or a habitat of a sea. Now let's start and see some of the seashores. Now see this seashore, you can see it is sandy. Another picture, now you can see this picture, this seashore is muddy. Another one, you can see it's covered with the stone and the huge pieces of the rocks. And some of the seashores, they have the high cliffs behind them. Now what is the cliff? It's the large area of the rocks or mountains. So either we have sometimes sandy seashores, we have sometimes muddy seashores, sometimes they are covered with stone or the pieces of rocks, and sometimes they would have the high cliffs behind them. So these all kind of seashores can be seen anywhere. Now for the sea, it's never still. The water in the sea that keeps moving on, that may be either because of the tides or that might be because of the waves. Now one by one we will study that what is a tide and what is a wave. So let's start first with what is a tide. Now, what is a tide? A tide is a regular rise or fall in the level of the water in the sea or in the ocean. So, tides might be low tide or they may be the high tide. Now, I will tell you that what is a high tide and what is a low tide. Now, what is a high tide? When the water level will rise in the sea, that is called the high tide. And you can see in the high tide the sea water will be covering across the seashore. It will coming so near to the seashore, and it may be splashing the water on the rocks, on the cliffs, or on the plants that on the seashore. And that high tide might be covering all the sea animals and all the plants on the seashore. So that we will say that this is a tide, that is the high tide, that is covering the all the surface of the seashore. And that might be for several hours, that might be for the whole day, and that might be for the weeks. And then we have low tide. Now what is a low tide? When the level of the water in the sea will low down, that is called the low tide. And that might also happen for several hours, might be for one day. That is the low tide, when the water will be far away from the seashore. So when the high tide will be coming, the sea water will be covering all the seashore with along with all the plants and all the animals. And when the tide will be low, it means that the water will be away from the seashore. Now this I will explain you more with the help of the pictures, that will more clear you the concept. Now see you here, you can see the picture of a high tide along with the low tide, so that you can understand more nicely. Now here you can see the water level has come across the seashore, covering these all the big rocks, and all the water level has increased a lot. But in the next picture, low tide, you can see the water level is much low and it is away from the seashore. So this shows the high tide and the low tide. Another picture I will show you. See this one, it's the same beach, but one picture is showing you the high tide when the water level has come across the seashore, and the next one you can see how much the level of the water is away. It means the level of the water has been fall from the seashore. So the water is away from the seashore in the low tide, and in the high tide, the first picture of the high tide, you can see the water level is coming across the seashore, covering a lot of the area of the seashore. But in the low tide, the water level has gone away from the seashore, and it will be uncovering a lot of plants, seaweeds, a lot of sea animals that are living on the beach. Again, one more picture to show you again the concept of the low tide and high tide. Here also you can see low tide. The first picture is of low tide and the second picture is of the high tide. And here again you can see in the low tide picture, the water is away from the seashore, and you can see in the high tide picture that the water has come across the seashore, and it is covering a lot of the area of the seashore. So we can see here, this is the high tide, and that is the low tide. High tide day, on that is the low tide day. So in the high tide, the sea water will be covering the seashore. It will be splashing the water on the rocks, on the cliffs. The water level will be high. But in the low tide, the water level will be fall, and then they will be uncovering a lot of the plants on the seashore, a lot of animals on the seashore. And then waves. Now what is a wave? That is a raised ridge of the water that is covering across the sea or the ocean or on the lake, and that is called by the energy transferred on the wind on the water. So the wind that is blowing on the water, that will cause the waves, and that waves will be coming and going, and that you have, if you go to the beach side, so you can see that the waves would come and they will touch your feet and then they will go back. So the waves will come and then they will go, and then it will be showing that it is caused by the wind that is blowing under the water. You can see the picture of the waves. You can see here the waves formed. The second picture is also showing some of the waves that are going and that they are coming. So these are the waves that they will come and they will go and they will touch your feet and then they will go back. But in the high tide and in the low tide, someday it will be high tide, someday it will be the low tide. When the water level on the seashore has raised, that is the high tide. And when the water level has gone away from the seashore, uncovering a lot of plants and a lot of sea animals on the beach, that is called the low tide. And waves that will come and they will go. You can see here as in the sea water, they are moving and they are caused by the motion of the wind that is blown on the water, and they will come and they will go and they will touch your feet, and that is caused by the waves. So these waves and these tides will keep the water moving in the sea. Then we will talk about the life on the beach. We have a lot of animals that are living in the burrows, in the sand and the mud. As I told you before, some of the seashores are muddy, some of the seashores are sandy. So a lot of animals are burrowing themselves under the sand and under the mud. And the examples of that are cockle, razor shells, lugworms, sand mason worms. One by one I will discuss with you and I will show you the pictures so that you can understand very nicely. The first picture is of cockle. You can see this one. It is also burying itself in the sand and the mud of the seawater on the seashore. So these are the cockles and these are the razor shells. You can see themselves, they are burying themselves in the sand of the seashore. So what these cockles and razor shells do, they will put their tubes out from the shells. When the sea water will come in, it means that when it will come across the seashore, they will put their tubes out so that they can get the feed from the sea water, and they will keep themselves burrow in the sand. Next is example of a picture of a legworm. You can see this legworm also burying itself in the sand of the seashore. Then we have sand mason worms. They are also burying themselves in the sand on the seashore. So these all these animals, they will feed themselves from the water. As the tide will be high, it will cover the seashore, and then these animals will get the feed from the seawater. And as the tide will go out, all the animals will be uncovered, and then when they will be uncovered, they become the food for the hungry wading birds. Now, who are the wading birds? They are the birds with the long leg, and they come on the seashore to get their food. So as these sea animals will be uncovered because of the low level of the water level in the sea, it means when the tide will be low, they will go away from the seashore, and then all these plants and many of the sea animals, these will be that are burrowing in themselves in the sand and the mud, they will be uncovered. When they will be uncovered, it means they can easily be seen by the small wading birds, and then they will come and they will feed on these small animals. You can see here the picture of a bird eating lugworm. You can see This is a picture of a bird eating cockle. So these wading birds will get the food, and they will become these will become the predator, and these lugworms are the prey for the birds. Similarly, here the bird is the predator and it's eating the cockle because they are being left over by the seashore, by the sea water on the seashore. So because they are uncovered, so they are seen by the birds and they become the feed for these birds. Next is the concept of a rock pool. Now, what is a rock pool? That is formed between the rocks on the edge of the sea. I will show you the picture so you can understand easily. You can see here some of the water that is gathered here, making a pool, small pool between the rocks, and that is near the seashore. So what happens in this rock pool? When the tides are high, they come, these small animals and these small plants, they come across the along with the tides away from the sea. And when these all the small animals and small plants are trapped in these rock pools, and when they will these plants and animals will stay in their rock pool, they will wait for the tides to come back so that they can get the water from the sea water and they can go back on their sea water. So when the tide will be high, these all the plants and all the animals will be covered by the seawater because the water level is high on the seashore. But as the tide will be low, the water will be away from the seashore, and all these plants and animals will be waiting in the rock pool. They will be left over in the rock pool and they will stay there until and rise until the tide is high, so that the sea water can take all the animals, rock pool animals and rock pool plants, back into the sea water. One by one I will tell you. Now you can see a picture of a rock pool here. We can see seaweeds, you can see some shells, fish, sea anemone, hermit crab, jellyfish. So these all the plants and animals are locked in the rock pool. When the tide becomes low, these all animals and plants are locked in the rock pool, and when again the tide will become high, the sea will be covered with the seashore, and then all these plants and animals can go back to the seawater. Next are the rock pool plants. So many of the seaweeds are left over, they are uncovered because when the tide is low, what will happen? Again, I am repeating, the sea water will be left behind from the seashore. It will go away from the seashore because the tide is low, the water level is low. So all these seaweeds will be coming out from the sea water, will be left over on the seashore. So what the plants do that time, you can see the seaweed, see here, it's uncovered because the tide is now low. You can see now the water level is away from the seashore, not covering these plants. So what these plants do for not drying out, from preventing them from the drying out, they will produce a slimy liquid, so that will not let them dry in the air. So these old seaweeds are left over when the tide is low, when the sea water on the seashore is very low, when the tide water has gone back into the sea level in the sea water. So these plants will produce them a slimy liquid so that they can prevent from the drying in the air. You can see the picture of the seaweeds here. They are left over because the tide is low. The water level, again I'm telling you, the water level is away from the seashore. So these old seaweeds are left over from the seawater. Next are some of the rock pool animals. So what happens? The rock pool animals are also locked in those rock pools that are near the edge of the sea, and they will stay there until and unless the tide will become high. They will again cover the seashore so that all the plants and animals can go back into the seawater. So these rock pool animals will also wait there in the rock pools. The examples are prawn, shrimp, you can see the picture. Then we have blenny fish. Then we have pipefish. So all of these animals are left in the pools because of the low tide, because it is uncovered. These all animals are uncovered and they will stay in those rock pools, and they will wait for the tides to become high, when the seashore will be covered all with the seawater because of the high tide, so that these all animals can go back into the seawater. Then we have crab. You can see the picture of a crab here. And crab also needs to stay wet. If it will dry, it will be dead. So what the crab do, it hide itself under the rocks or the seaweed so that it can get the water, or it can be wet and it will not be dried and it cannot be dead. And they will wait for the tide to come in so they can take those tides can take them back into the seawater. That's why we say that, and it's a note for everyone who is going on the beach side or on the seaside, that if you see any of the stones on the seashore, just put them back quickly in the sea, because a lot of animals are there and under, might be hiding themselves under those stones or under those rocks. So put them back into the sea water so that they can be alive. Then we have fact alert on page number 75 of your textbook, and that is the differentiation of a fresh water and of a sea water. Now, what is the difference in the fresh water? If I take 1 liter of the fresh water and 1 liter of the sea water, so what will be the difference? The difference of the weight. The fresh water, of if it's 1 liter, it will be of 1000 grams, but the sea water will be 25 grams more as compared to the fresh water. And what is the reason for the more weight? That is of the salt that is added and dissolved in the sea water. So the sea water is salty, and that salt will add the weight to the sea water as compared to the fresh water. So just to summarize this lesson for you, today we studied about the sea habitat, in which we studied that what is a tide and what is the difference in the tide and wave. How we talked about the high tide and low tide. When sea is covering the seashore, that is the high tide, and when the seashore goes away, that water goes away from the seashore, uncovering a lot of plants and animals, that is called a low tide day. And waves are just coming and going back. They may be going several times in a day, and they are maybe because of the blowing of the wind on the water. Then we talked about the animals that are burying themselves in the sand and mud of the sea water. Then we talked about some of the predators and prey on the beach side. And then we talked about the rock pool. We talked about what is a rock pool is formed because of the water that is gathered, a small pool formed along the edge of the sea. Then we talked about the rock pool plants. We talked about rock pools animals. And then we talked about the fact alert about on your page number 75. And at the end, I would like to summarize the whole lessons for you that we studied so far on unit number 6. It had 7 lessons, and today was the last lesson. Just give you to recall what we studied in the previous 6 lessons. We started first with the habitats and homes. Just to give you, first of all, I give you the introduction of the habitat. What is habitat? What is home? Then we talked about adaptations, how the plants and animals are adapting to their habitats. And then we talked about herbivores, which animals are called herbivores, the one who are only the plant eaters. Then we talked about the carnivores. The carnivores are the animals who are the eating the flesh or the meat of the other animal. They are called the carnivores. Then we discussed about the food chain. Then in the food chain we discussed that it always starts with the plants, and then it is continuing with the herbivores and carnivores and then bigger carnivores. And then we discussed about the habitat, in which I discussed that how the pavements and how the old walls, the bricks, are the habitat for the many of the plants and many of the animals. And then in the last previous lesson we discussed about the habitat of a pond life. And then today was the last lesson in which I discussed with you the habitat of a sea life. So I hope that all of you have understood these all 7 lessons, and you will go through all of this unit number 6 and all the lessons 7 we have studied, so that you can understand the concepts again. You can memorize the things nicely, and you can comprehend the things more easily. And thanks a lot all of my students for watching my videos, for listening to my videos, and I pray that all of you stay safe in your homes. Goodbye from me.